Yes, this is Margaret Ann Windsor. The name I have to use is Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married to Childers. And a lot seems to be going on at one time here. And obviously, I'm not allowed to say anything, or they can come out and do as they please, or they don't have to come out and make you sound like you're. And then there are a lot of people, I don't care what you put up here, would love to shut me up, okay? I haven't committed a crime. I was kidnapped and brought over here at age 2. My mom was an American. Uh, George O'Keeffe is my aunt. My mom is Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe, Madison, Wisconsin school teacher. This is that I'm about to say, and I'm having a rough time right now, and I'm having a hard time putting up videos suddenly, if I get one up at all. And a lot's going on. Uh, anyway, I'm listening to the conflict. They're not saying much about it on the network television, but they're telling on the alternative, like Coast to Coast and George Norrie, and some of those are mentioning. Clyde Lewis, I believe, is mentioned, and I'm not sure. But they're talking about how devastating it could be also. The only thing I want to put up here right now at the moment is Pakistan and India were part of the British Empire. And when the takedown of my father happened, he never married Wallace Simpson. He was married to my mom, and they remained alive and married to each other October the 20th of 86. And I was kidnapped by the Illuminati in 19... I'm having a rough time, okay? 1941. I was at age 2. My father had made arrangements when he was forced out, and it was legal, papers, that if he had an heir, the heir would not be disinherited. I would inherit, and I was born in 39 and kidnapped in 41. And JFK's father had been made ambassador to England by Roosevelt, Jew, that was part of the Rockefellers, Rothschild, Bilderbergers, the Kennedys. Kennedy dad, Joe, was appointed at that time for the specific reason to take care of my father, take him out. They did. Never married Wallace Simpson, a double did. So the U.S. went in with all their military, and it's underground and all over the world now, in Germany and Australia and everything British. And I'm listening. That was the whole point. You control the British Empire while the global government's in place. And I am really, where I'm living here, having a rough time here. If they're told to get me out, nobody's going to touch them. However they can get me out, they've done it before. I thought these people were at least on my side, or wouldn't. I'll just leave it there. But anyway, there seems to be a battle going on, doesn't seem to be, and brewing between Islamic Pakistan and India. So when they took down my father, kidnapped me, and I shall never, because of what's going on right now, they can knock at my door. They can do what happened to me April Fool Day of 41. They can do it to me all over again. They got away with it then, they can get away with it now. The whole thing is the global government that's in power under the guise of the United Nations. And I've put up here to support what I'm saying. Even someone, my videos are suddenly where I can't, well, I could get into that. It's not going to do me any good. This is the only outlet I've had. And suddenly someone came in and was going to try to help me, and things have gotten worse. And if they did this, and I'm not even going to mention it, to me back in April Fool Day of '80, they can do it to me right now. If it took me all this time to get over it, I wouldn't make it. So that's all I'm going to say, because they can knock at my door and say, hey, nobody's paid for the crimes. It's been such a high up, and I'll leave it there. I've told everybody a church here near Roanoke in Travel, when I was living on the Appalachian Trail, sent a book up, Project Lucid by James Mars, I guess. There's two of them, Tex and James, but I think this was James that wrote it, and it was in '96. And I'd been telling about mind control murders and about the Illuminati, the Tesla files that were stolen, since '76. And then it got so bad, April Fool Day, even with a letter from the FBI, they could do whatever they wanted to. I didn't know about or couldn't verbalize being kidnapped at that time up until a little later. And I'm going to leave it there, because right at the moment I'm not feeling very well. And I do know some people came in and tried to help. So it really doesn't matter. I mean, if they're told to get me out, they've done it before, they'll get me out with whatever means. So those that thought it was all right to, well, anyway, let me get back to the book. It was called Project Lucid. It told about the Illuminati. It told about chipping and the end times. And God knows I had no idea what I was writing about had anything to do with the Bible. I didn't at the time couldn't verbalize my kidnapping. When I found out about it and looked back in my history of being brought to Moulton, Alabama, it was all true. There were British there that saved my life. I'm not sure they can save it the second time. I hope I walk out of this, and I'm 80 years old. I hope my children that were done so horrific crimes against them simply because of their name and who they are. Elizabeth is illegal. She works for, and George, the illegal George VI is the illegal title. I'm going to leave it there. I'm putting this up because the videos have been my only outlet. Since the press won't touch it, it's controlled by the Illuminati. And unless I'm very wrong, they're going, that's the Illuminati that's going after President Trump. And you better open your eyes, because if they can do all this to me and are still doing it,